Hello from Myrtle Beach. We are at the 2nd Avenue Pier, and today we're going to give you an update on the effects here of Hurricane Erin on the Myrtle Beach area. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything in Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. So I wanted to bring you to a pier because it's always easier to tell the wave. The waves never look as big on a video as they do in person. They just don't, unless you're in the actual water. And then you can kind of tell how crazy they are. And we're going to walk down the beach too. We're not going to just stay here at the pier. But I wanted to start here to show you what it looks like. I'll go to the other side. I think it's even easier to tell. We do have bigger than usual waves. I'm doing this update video, by the way, if you're new to the channel, because we did a video not too long ago about Hurricane Erin, and people asked us to please come and film the waves once they got here. So they are saying this wave situation, which is much higher than normal for here. I know if you're on the West Coast, you probably think this is funny, but for the East Coast, this is higher for this area. The waves are... It could be rough during storms and stuff, but for a nice sunny day, these are some big waves, and it's rough seas. I mean, you see people, there's a few people right in the shallows of the water. People are not swimming. There's like a ton of rip currents. I'm sure we'll see some swimmers as we go down, but I've seen the lifeguards tell people to come in closer, like they're not letting people get out too far, and we'll go down and check out some of the lifeguard stations too. But this gives you an idea. So the reason we're doing this video is just so you can see what it looks like here. So in our previous video we did about Erin, we had talked about how, in our opinion, it's as long as you're not really dying to swim in the ocean, it's fine, to come this week. Still, again, you never know what a storm's going to do. It could have taken a turn for land, but it didn't. And not only that, it downgraded to a Category 2. It's still a dangerous storm. It's still going to definitely impact. There's some people fishing up there. It's definitely going to impact the North Carolina Outer Banks. If you're not familiar, Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina, and North Carolina is just to the north, and that's actually my home state. And same with Brian. That's where we're from originally. We live here in Myrtle Beach now. And if you're not familiar with the geography, North Carolina's Outer Banks stick out into the water quite a bit, and they're separated by a sound. And we spent a lot of time in the North Carolina beaches and Outer Banks when we were growing up, and so we're very familiar with it. And so they have closed some of those barrier islands due to potential flooding of roads and big waves, because they're expecting them to get much bigger waves than us. And those islands are pretty small. They're pretty narrow. They kind of have a road running down the middle of them, a lot of them, and that's it. So that's happening. I've also heard some other beaches are closing. I have not heard anything about our beach closing, and I would guess because there's people out in the water, it has not closed, but we will keep walking down the beach. But I've not seen anything in the news about it closing. When they close the beach here, what that means is you can still come on the beach, you just can't get in the water. And I've had people ask me, does that mean you can wade? Depends on the lifeguard. I've seen lifeguards let people wade, like I'm talking like knees or lower, kind of when you say wading. And then I've seen other ones that won't let people set a foot in the water. So it just depends on the lifeguard, I think, when you get in that situation. Also, we get a lot of questions about where are we when we film these videos. So I told you I was at 2nd Avenue Pier, so that's 2nd Avenue South in Myrtle Beach. There's the Wicked Tuna up at the top. The boardwalk is running right along here. A lot of people don't realize the boardwalk comes down this far, but it does. And if behind me is the Sky Wheel. So we're walking south, just to let you know. And so we're just gonna check things out. But it's not even windy. Like, this is not even a windy day. It's breezy, but it's not windy. They told us we'd have some of these light, that's why it looks kind of hazy, clouds coming in from Erin, but not much. Now, these waves are supposed to peak as far as their height during the night tonight. So the best I can give you is the daytime. And they said even early tomorrow morning. So really the big deal here, it really is just swimming. That's the only effect. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm not complaining, is the risk to swimming. I saw that, I think it was North Carolina, and this was a day or so ago, had already done 75 riptide rescues from people getting swept out to sea by the riptides. So these people are braver than me. I would not be swimming To be fair, I live here so I can swim when I want. I get it if, they've come a long way, but I personally wouldn't take the risk of swimming. Sure, wading, sure, where you're got your feet firmly on the ground and most of your body's not in the water, but I would just use my pool for swimming. A lot of people walking on the beach today. I wonder if I usually don't see as many people walking. I wonder if that's because you can't really swim. I mean, you can. You're allowed to. I just think people are choosing not to swim. It's interesting. I have not seen a single lifeguard. I see the flags up, but I haven't seen a lifeguard. Let's go take a closer look at the flags because one of them has words on it. So usually the double red flag means that the beach is closed. And again, when I say the beach is closed, I don't mean the physical beach. I mean the water. You can't swim. But I want to see what this other one says. Oh, no lifeguard on duty. Okay. That's kind of interesting. You'd think they would have a lot of lifeguards out today. Yeah, that says no lifeguard on duty. I saw several lifeguards. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, yeah. And they were having people, we did a walk yesterday, they were having people come in. Like if people got a little further out than they felt, I guess, was safe, they would have them come back in. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and this walk down the beach, give this video a thumbs up or a like. We really appreciate that. That helps other people find our videos, so we greatly appreciate that. And I hope you are enjoying it. I know some people will be like, why are you filming this? I'm filming it because people asked me to. It's literally, I'm not trying to be dramatic or make it sound worse than it is. It's actually better than they predicted, which is the best case scenario, but just had a lot of people wanting to see the waves and what it's like. Yesterday, I did see some people out trying to surf on these waves, but I think they're a little too choppy for that. Like it's not the right kind of wave, I don't think, for surfing, but I did see some people trying to do that yesterday when I was out walking on the beach. They had said we might get big waves by yesterday, but yesterday the tides were coming in a little higher than usual, but I wasn't really seeing any, huge waves or anything. But yeah, it looks like the single red flag. We've got another no lifeguard on duty. Again, that's so weird, but just a single red flag, so it's not the beach closed situation. Don't know if it will close tomorrow, no idea, because they're saying, again, it's going to peak overnight as far as the effects from Erin. But since Erin hasn't re-strengthened into a more higher category, I don't know that it's going to be much different than what we're seeing right now. If it is, I'll, let you know. Like I've mentioned before, we're on Instagram, so we put out a lot of short little videos on Instagram. So I'll do that if there's an update, if there's something more dramatic to show. Also, if it's worthy, I can also put up a short on YouTube, the short little videos that are a little different than these long form. So there's a lifeguard right there, even though there's no lifeguard on duty signs up. So they are out and about. Maybe he's just on break. I don't know. I don't know how all that works. But yeah, I think most people, it looks like they're playing it safe. Now let me know in the comments, would you swim right now? Like given the current circumstances? So the danger is not the waves you see on the top, which, they're big, but they're not that big. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's the undercurrent, the rip current is the danger, and you can't always see them. I have been in one before, not a really bad one, but they're not fun. It's not a good feeling. And those are far more dangerous than pretty much anything else here as far as in the water. I mean, sure, there's sharks and stuff, but that's so rare. Whereas rip currents are common. I mean, we see it all the time here. We see it in the news where someone got swept out in one and ends up drowning, which is so sad and tragic. By the way, there's Family Kingdom on a less tragic note. Got the roller coaster and the Ferris wheel over there. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's right there. So that's where we're at for another point of reference. We're right across from Family Kingdom. And while we're talking about that, they turned this lot here into a parking lot, which was the original rumor. So the rumor was correct about that. That definitely became a parking lot, which is weird. Now, because it's just a gravel, it's a dirt parking lot at that gravel. Because it's gravel, they could always end up putting something there, like something more interesting there in the future. Take in this beautiful, it's gorgeous today. And it's super sunny. I forgot my hat. I always wear a hat and I left it in the car. It's the day you definitely need a hat. It is quite bright and sunny. If you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.